Okay, let's try it again. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cryptic Response, and today we're going to be building a power plant. I figured that we should make sure we have all the extra energy we need, so why not start with a whole building dedicated to that? We're going to have two levels. First level is going to be, well, the upper level is going to be for energy generation, and the second level is going to be for power storage. I'm going to be using well, I guess a combination of thermal expansion and mechanisms. Power storage blocks. It is power cubes for mechanism, and they are energy cells for thermal expansion. They both have cells that are going to hold massive amounts of energy, which I'm going to be using the ultimate energy cubes in here, at least a couple of them. I think I've got three of them. Figure make sure that you have a whole bunch of power stored up, so that way if you have like a huge draw, like we'll say you've got a couple quarries running and you need to start grinding up all your ores and everything else, the ultimate energy cubes, something like three of them should be enough to at least keep going while the quarry's running. You know, you're gonna have stuff sorted and everything else, so you don't really need power generation all of the time, but it is nice to have. And that's what one of the reasons why I'm gonna be using the ultimate energy cell cubes, because they do hold a slight bit more or a slight larger amount than thermal expansion's ender cells or resonant energy cells. Sorry, they do hold a little bit more than those, so go ahead and use those for that. Now, if you got something that is like high demand, let's say you're doing like 30 macerators or something like that, 30 pulverizers going, some other things that are just drawing like insane amounts of energy, you'd probably be better off with those resonant energy cells, because they do have, what is it, multiple outputs. So if you've got something that's running a huge amount of RF and you need that output, then you use those cells because they have all six of their sides can be configured to. Of course, you'd want one for input from your generators, but the other six sides can be used for outputs, and each side should be putting, I believe it puts out 100,000 RF. So it would be better if you use those. As far as mechanisms, I don't know exactly what the conversion rate is, but I did test it out on a separate world, on a creative world, and the ender, not the ender, oh geez, the resonant energy cells did actually output a whole bunch more energy than the ultimate energy cubes did, just mainly because there's only one output on the energy cubes. And as far as I know, it's the only way to configure it because they've got that little graphic bar on them. So, and as you can see, I had a little bit of problems with some zombies and an Enderman. So it was quite a bit of fun building this. Yep. Well, anyway, let's see. I decided to use some border stones from extra utilities for the outside edges. Kind of like them. The glass that I'm using is called Vibrant Quartz Glass, and that was from Applied Energistics. Now, the great thing about that is that you can use it. It is, well, with vanilla Minecraft, it is, what is it? It has connected textures. Also, it is kind of like glowstone. I don't know if it puts out as much light as glowstone, but it is a light source. So you don't have to, I don't have to put any other lighting in here other than the windows up on top. And I've got enough light to keep the building monster free. Which isn't entirely true. I don't have any light sources other than torches downstairs, so yeah, that's gonna be fun. And these bricks right here are kind of cool. They are edged stone bricks, also from extra utilities. And a lot of these, which used to a lot of mods adding glass with connected textures, but when you have blocks like this with connected textures, it looks kind of cool. Really nice to build with and everything else. Um, they do add a little bit of variety. There's not too many. I guess extra utilities isn't completely based on vanity issues. I believe it's RW Tema that did it. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's a couple of things in here that he did to kind of slow down on the lag issues too. Which, what is it? It's the endothermic pump. And I have seen people playing on Forgecraft that are also, or that are, I guess they're using his dev version, and it's also got a pretty cool mining mechanic too. So, getting our iron doors on, get some protection so we can work inside in peace, and clear up the floor up here. I know dirt floors are tacky, but that's why we're actually putting in different floors. These are another type of edged border stone. Kind of cool. They have that big block effect. To me, it kind of looks like concrete underneath with the stone texture surrounding it. So I was like, this is kind of cool. It'd be great for a floor. Kind of like signifies the heavy duty aspect of a. Wow, it is really dark down here. Heavy duty aspect of a like an industrial power plant and whatnot. Hey, what's up, everybody? So, we are back, and I have been doing a little bit of this setup for this upper area right here. I'm going to be using some multi-blocks off of Forge Multipart, and these are going to be openings for my pipes to run through. Now, I want the building, the interior of the building to have kind of like a power plant slash, I guess, factory type of look to it. So, came up with a couple ideas. Part of them were the multi-blocks, and other ones were these XP drains. As you can see, they kind of look like metal scaffolding. Well, not scaffolding, but like metal walkways. Some, like, I guess, older grungy movies that I've seen. Um, Now, these work pretty good for most of this, but you cannot have cables, whether they're multi-part cables or, oh wow, that was loud. Well, whether they're multi-part cables or not, they cannot be running on top of these. Everything gets placed a block above them on the top. But they were made to accept blocks underneath them, so they will be looking really nice. Now, with these steel Covers? Yeah, they are steel covers. The steel covers, I actually don't have the same limitations on these. Any multi-part blocks will sit on top of it, sit inside of it, I believe too. Most cables will actually cut in half when these are placed. Cables, transport tubes, and everything else. So, do be aware of that. Now, as far as this goes, like I said, I wanted it to have a specific look, so that's why I'm going with these. And I don't know that I have enough of them made, so I may be going to make some more. Right here is where our hydrogen generators are going to be sitting. And yeah, this is where the pipe is going to be coming up through. So we'll put this down, and so I believe I need another 2 covers for in here, and a couple of opened covers. Yeah, and I do believe I have to go make some more. And as you can see, any kind of block that gets placed on top of it is really on top of them. So that was one of the reasons why I went with the... Oh, geez, forgot the pressure plates. So long as those XP drains don't have any open blocks tanks underneath them, they will be 100% fine. So you don't even need to worry about it. And I did make those covers and hollow covers out of steel, so that's what I'm doing right here. And the ruby saw is from, because it's ruby, it's Project Red. But I believe Multipart does add saws of its own, which diamond iron, I think. I think it's diamond and iron. And ruby swords, or sorry, ruby swords also, but ruby saws will take more durability damage than a diamond saw will, but they will cut everything just the same as a diamond saw would. As you can see by the steel that we cut up. Oh, so that's what that explosion was. I have the leveler, which I have one of my, I believe it is the only one with, it at least has the highest amount of fortune on it. Which fortune, when you're mining blocks like this, will actually give you a chance of having 2 with the moonstone, redstone, and everything else. So it'll give you a higher chance of getting more pieces. So we'll put these covers right here and right here. Now the pipes that I'm going to be running through these holes are multi-part usable, but anywhere I did not put any of those hollow covers, I am going to be running pipes that are not multi-blocks. As you can see, it does look pretty cool. Metal grating is freaking awesome looking. To be honest with you, I have dirt everywhere, including under the cobblestone placeholders. It's just easier to put all the dirt there. Okay, so let me get all this dirt picked up and head back upstairs. Okay, so that'll work now. Um, I believe I have everything set down. So let's start with our electrolytic separators. The inventory sorted out first, of course. But these electrolytic separators are going to be separating water into hydrogen and oxygen. The way we're going to have them set up is that we are going to have it dumping oxygen, which I believe you guys have seen, or yeah, because when we did the digital miner, I had a couple of these powering it. Now these are sitting a specific way because, as you can see, where the O is at is where it puts out gas, whatever gas you've set it up to output. And usually these go right next to the hydrogen generators, but Mekanism does have a pressurized pipe that will move gases around. So pressurized pipes are for gases, mechanical pipes are for liquids, or pressurized tube, I apologize. Um, Mechanical pipes are for liquids, and logistical transport pipes. Not even pipes, logistical transporters, I believe they're called exactly. More precisely. Um, those move items around. And of course, the universal cable for energy. Now we get our hydrogen generators set up. Now, because I wanted these hollow covers to kind of hide the pipes a little better, so I decided to use redstone energy conduits for my power, so that way we can put them through these hollowed covers. All of the question marks have to go facing towards the inside of this gap, because these do accept hydrogen on any other side. I don't know whether it's top and bottom. I believe it is accept it from the bottom, but I'm not too sure about the top. So these are our pressurized tubes, which are going to be supplying hydrogen from our electrolytic separators into the electrolyte, or from our electrolytic separators into our hydrogen generators. And in order to capture all of this power, we do need some sort of energy storage, which I don't know if you've noticed what I grabbed earlier, but it is a ultimate energy cube. And I need fluid ducts. Fluid duct. Okay, so let's go upstairs really quick. And one of the basic components for these are these energy tablets, which are made with 3 gold ingots, 4 pieces of redstone, and 2 enriched alloy. Now, each one of these energy cubes requires 2 of them, so you are going to be using up a lot of gold. So we've got 2 energy tablets, 4 pieces of redstone, and 2 pieces of lapis surrounding a steel casing. Which I believe, if you don't remember, steel casings are a piece of osmium in the middle and surrounded by up, down, left, right steel. Now, this basic energy cubes gets upgraded with enriched alloy, 2 energy tablets, and 2 pieces of gold. And to get an elite, we have 2 energy tablets, 2 diamonds, and 4 control circuits. So now that we have our elite energy cube, we move on to our advanced energy cube, which requires more diamonds. So 2 energy tablets, again, every single one, 2 obsidian ingots, and 4 atomic cores. So each one of these is 6 diamonds. The atomic cores, diamond apiece, obsidian dust, and enriched alloy. So these are some very expensive energy cubes. I believe these are more expensive. Well, they are more expensive, but it is a lot easier to come by the diamonds than it is ender pearls. If you haven't been out to the end yet, farming ender pearls in the end is pretty easy, but in the overworld, depending on what biome you spawn in, it can be very hard. And I mean very hard to actually find these. I think I've got a total of 4 or 5 ender pearls. This is where our power is gonna meet up with our energy cubes. I didn't need to come that far down. So let's get this. Yeah, I do know now that that was an energy cube, or that was a fluid duct. But at the time, not so much. So we're gonna throw these this way. Run them over to the window. And then we set down 1 energy cube, 2 energy cubes, and I believe we've got space for a 3rd one, maybe even a 4th one. I don't know, that window looks odd. I kind of wanted it so that only 3 of these were showing on the window. One of the best ways to actually throw power into these is to have these redstone energy conduits on multiple input sides of the ultimate energy cube. Now the way I place down these energy cubes, that black bar is the output and every other side is the input. And these do hold more energy, slightly more energy than the resonant energy cells from thermal expansion. So they are nice in that aspect, which we don't have any really heavy machinery yet that is going to be pulling that much power. So I opted to go with the ultimate energy cubes. Now the reason I was talking about how much power output they have is because these only have 1 output slot. Now on a resonant energy cell, they actually have almost, I believe, every side of every one of the 6 sides can actually be set to an output if you're gonna just use it as battery. So you could have up to 600,000 RF flowing out of those, whereas these, I believe they're, I really can't remember right now, but it's rated in megajoules, MJs. Now I tested this in a creative world, and what I came up with to test this was to get a full ultimate energy cube and an empty resonant energy cube. And then I grabbed a full resonant energy cube or an resonant energy cell, and then a full an empty ultimate energy cube. Now, when you hook them up together, one will charge the other. So, when charging an ultimate energy cube with two different resonant or redstone energy conduits, you actually get the ultimate energy cube charged faster. So, outputting through multiple sides, if you need that massive amount of energy coming out of it, is nice for the resonant energy ones. But seeing as you only have one output, you're limited to what the energy cube has as a straight setting for outputs, where you can have two different sides of the resonant energy cells hooked up, three different sides, four different sides. Now, as far as how much energy they hold, like I said, I filled one of each opposing one up, and the one that still had energy left over was the energy cube. So a full energy cube not only fully charged a resonant energy cell, it still had energy left over. But when you did it the opposite, a full resonant energy cell to charge a empty ultimate energy cube, everything was drained from the energy cell, and the energy cube wasn't fully charged. So they do hold a little bit more. It wasn't much. I think it was maybe 10 megajoules at the most as far as the energy cube's rating. I don't even think it was that much. It may have been half as much. And that exact same 10 was left over in energy cube when hooked up to an empty resonant energy cell. So, we still have a couple of things to set up before we can actually get this started. We've got our water running. We need pressurized tubes. So, pressurized tubes, actually all of Mekanisms, none of Mekanisms, pipes, transports, however you'd like to call them, are actually multi-part. So I could not put a hollow cover there. And like I said, that hollow cover, one of the reasons I wanted it, or I used it there, was because I don't know, I'm hoping this is going to look good. But one of the reasons I used it there is because I wanted those redstone conduits to go through them. I kind of like the way it looks. To me, it looks a little neater than having a full open space. It'd be nice if Mekanism's pipes were compatible with multi-part. And it would also have been nice if the gases could have been thrown through some fluid ducts, from thermal expansion, but I did try it and it did not work. They are a gas, so they have a different registry, or dictionary registry. There we go. So I have space for a third energy cube, which I believe I have somewhere. I'm just not entirely sure where I have it. Now, we are going to have to pump energy into these. Now, I could just recycle the energy coming out of the hydrogen generators, but I kind of want all of that energy going straight towards those energy cubes and kind of keeping it separate. Because the way this basically works is hydrogen generation, energy generation through the hydrogen generators is kind of like an amplification of energy. So you have one energy source going into those electrolytic separators that turns the hydrogen into gas, and then the gas is turned into energy. Now, those electrolytic separators don't require much energy at all. I believe I should be able to run all 8 of these on a solar generator or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I think I might actually have to use a second hydrogen generator to do that. I kind of want to see if I can do what I did inside underneath the workshop, which the infinite lava or the infinite energy from the lava, but I don't know if that's gonna be all that great on lag or not. So I am gonna go ahead and cut the episode here because I'm already at a half an hour. I will see about showing off the energy generation in the next episode. So we will see what this baby can do. And I guess I will see you guys later. Peace out.